Today on Public Eye News, Whitmer doubles Michigan's daily vaccination goal to 100,000, and a body of one of two missing canoers recovered from Lake Winnebago.
Later, Mitch Reif will have your weather for the weekend, and Caden will be back with your sports update. Hello, I'm Ross Ray.
And I'm Caden Minus, and this is Public Eye News.
The song that hung.
Three historic lighthouses are receiving repairs and restorations. Michigan State Historic Preservation Office has awarded $126,000 to the Chris Point Light Historical Society, the North Manitou Lightkeepers in St. Clair County Parks and Recreation. $60,000 of the grant will be used on the Chris Point Lighthouse for exterior renovations. $50,000 of the grant will be used on North Manitou Shoal Lighthouse for rehabilitation work on its watch deck. And $16,667 of the grant will be used for the rehabilitation of the lantern and watch rooms of the Fort Gratiot Lighthouse. And police making a compliance check on parolees southwest of Detroit, Michigan have seized 5 firearms and more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition. The ammunition, 2 rifles, a shotgun, and 2 9mm handguns were found on Tuesday in a Lenawee County home. State law prohibits parolees from owning firearms. Other parolees were also found in possession of marijuana and narcotics. And a white man was found guilty of a federal hate crime after a black teen was attacked and struck with a bike lock in southeastern Michigan. 43-year-old Lee Mouat confronted a group of black teenagers at Sterling State Park last June, where he hurled racial slurs and struck Devin Freelon Jr. Freelon lost several teeth and suffered a fractured jaw as well as cuts to his face and mouth. Mouat is scheduled to be sentenced on June 24, where he will face up to 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
Yesterday, Governor Gretchen Whitmer doubled Michigan's daily COVID-19 vaccination goal to 100,000 shots. The decision was made due to the increases of vaccine allotments that the state is receiving and an expanded number of providers who can administer doses. This also comes as Michigan is facing its third surge in cases, with the state reporting more than 6,300 new cases, the most nearly in 4 months. Whitmer is urging Michigan residents to get vaccinated, especially as all people ages 16 and older in Michigan will be able to get the vaccine on Monday. As reported by MLive, a woman was killed after a single vehicle rollover crash on a northern Michigan highway Tuesday morning. 64-year-old Cynthia Ann Seltzer of Brenton was pronounced dead at the scene on Cohoes Highway near US 31 and Manistee Township. While alcohol does not appear to be a factor in the crash, it was reported that Seltzer was not wearing a seatbelt at the time. And according to a Fond du Lac County Sheriff officials, the body of one of 2 missing canoers presumed drowned in Lake Winnebago has been recovered. Dakota Goldspike and Michael Goldheld, both 21, went out on the lake on the night of the 29th after dark and in choppy conditions. Both were in the boat when dispatchers took a 911 call from one of them, but both were thrown into the water a short time later. The search for the second man resumes Thursday. And don't touch that dial, because after the break, we'll be back with your national and international news.
Centuries after the first Europeans landed on this continent, tribal people continued to adapt, change, and survive. These are the people's stories of reclaiming old ways for health today. This is Growing Native.
Saturday night at 8.
Welcome back. Samuel Kisumu, the most senior black advisor of UK's Prime Minister, has resigned. This resignation was in the wake after a report of racial disparities concluded that Britain does not have a systematic problem with racism. Many activists have accused the report of ignoring the experiences of ethnic minorities in Britain's population. The government has denied any link to Kisumu's resignation in the much criticized report. And Thailand has begun halving the quarantine time for vaccinated visitors on Thursday to allow inoculated visitors into the country without the need to isolate. Thailand has essentially been closed to foreign visitors since the beginning of the pandemic and has kept cases relatively low. The pandemic has also ravaged Thailand's tourism industry, and this is the country's first step into reopening and restoring that source of income.
President Joe Biden's $2.3 trillion plan to work on America's infrastructure includes a $16 billion to plug old oil and gas wells and clean up abandoned mines, which has been a priority for Western and rural lawmakers. While the plan still needs approval from Congress, it would jumpstart the well capping effort and will expand it dramatically. And U.S. health officials have authorized the use of 2 or more over-the-counter COVID-19 tests that can be used at home to get rapid results. The FDA stated that Abbott's Binax Now and Quidel's QuickView tests can now be sold without a prescription. While both tests were cleared last year, they originally came with conditions that limited their use, including prescription requirements and instructions that they only be used with people with symptoms. It's currently unknown when the tests will be available to the public. And as Christians around the world prepare to celebrate Easter, scientists are revealing new findings about the cross. Thousands of them actually etched onto the walls of one of Jerusalem's most sacred sites. CBS's Ian Lee has more from London.
Researchers are shedding new light on a mystery in Jerusalem's Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Biblical scholars wanted to know who created these tiny crosses etched in stone.
You could see that the crosses are carved around a medieval symbol. This is a symbol of a knight.
The thousands of crosses cover a chapel in the church where Christians believe Jesus was crucified, buried, and rose from the dead.
Is it graffiti of the pilgrims, or rather something else?
To answer the centuries-old question, archaeologist Amit Riem and his team used new digital techniques.
Apply these various filters in order to try and pull out as much as possible information about the object itself.
After years of comparing and contrasting the crosses, experts dated the markings back to the 15th century.
Look at it. It's precise, it's accurate, it has a very certain depth.
Their research revealed it wasn't graffiti after all, but the work of medieval masons.
You pay something to this special artist, and he carved for you, for the benefit of your soul and your relative souls, he carved for you a special cross.
Leaving a lasting mark, using Christianity's most sacred symbol. Ian Lee, CBS News.
And now going to a story about the third high-profile shooting in 3 weeks in the country. This one at in an office complex in Orange County, California. 4 people are dead, including a child. 1 victim is in serious condition. A suspect is also wounded and under arrest. Omar Villafranca is near the crime scene where it's located southeast of Los Angeles.
The cops are running right there, look at that.
Bystander video shows police officers swarming this office building on Lincoln Avenue. The video appears to take place after the shooting had stopped. Police are later seen dragging a bloodied person out the front door.
Jeez.
Orange police say 4 people, including a child, were killed. The suspect was injured and later taken to a local hospital along with a female gunshot victim. Both are in critical condition. A gun was later found on the scene. No officers were injured during the shooting.
I can tell you Orange is a very safe city, and we don't have stuff like this that happens very often.
Family members worried about their loved ones were desperate for answers, including one man who says he hasn't been able to reach his brother who works in a real estate office in the building.
I'm just trying to find out his well-being. He's not answering his phone, neither is my niece. I'm pretty scared and worried. I wish I knew more. I don't know. Right now I'm just praying really hard.
We don't know any of the names of the shooter or any of the victims. Police are still working on notifying their families at this point, and we also do not know a motive. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Orange, California.
And don't go away, because after this break, Mitch will have your weather report and I will have your sports update. Stay tuned.
Cities of Light tells a story that is proving to help build bridges of understanding between Islam and the West.
Monday night at 10.
And welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Mitchell Reif, your weatherman for today, and behind me is our beautiful NMU campus. Now let's take a look at our current conditions. Today will be partly sunny with a temperature of 29 degrees, winds going north at 10 miles per hour with a barometric pressure of 30.56 inches and falling. And later on tonight, it will be partly cloudy with a low of 25, winds coming from the northeast at 9 miles per hour. Now over to tonight, we'll have partly cloudy skies with a high of 49 degrees and winds going from the south at 16 miles per hour. Now let's take a look at the UP. Over in Sault Ste. Marie, we've got 30 degrees and partly sunny. In Manistee, we have 33 degrees and partly sunny. In Escanaba, we have 36 and partly sunny. And in Menominee, we have 36 and partly sunny. Now over at our other side of the UP on Iron Mountain, we have 39 and partly sunny. In Ironwood, 38 and partly sunny, and in Houghton, 35 and partly sunny, and beautiful Marquette, 29 and partly cloudy. Now looking at your weekend ahead, on Friday we'll have a high of 49 and a low of 36 and partly cloudy. On Saturday, a high of 50 degrees and a low of 33 and partly cloudy. And on Sunday, a high of 49 and a low of 38 and partly cloudy. Now let's send it over to Katie Minus for our sports. Katie?
Northern Michigan University is losing its most decorated coach in history this year. Sten Fjellheim, who has been the Wildcats Nordic ski team, who has been coaching the Wildcats Nordic ski team for the last 35 years, announced his retirement earlier this week. Fjellheim has coached 102 All-American Award winners and 7 national championships over his time at Northern and was praised for the culture he created for the skiing program. The team also saw team-wide success under the coach, winning 15 straight men's Nordic skiing NCAA Central Region titles from 2007 to 2021. Fjellheim was also the NMU cross-country coach from 1986 to 2007. And it is officially the opening day of Major League Baseball. This is the first step towards normalcy for baseball, as this season was rocked by the coronavirus pandemic last year. All teams will hopefully be able to complete a regulation-length 162-game season. Another change from last season is the return of fans to stadiums. While rules may vary from state to state, most MLB teams will be able to allow a limited number of fans back into stadiums this year with social distancing and COVID-safe policies in place. There are 15 games set to take place today. And Hall of Fame basketball coach Roy Williams is officially retiring from his job at UNC. Williams has coached the Tar Heels for 33 seasons and led the team to an incredible 903 wins. Over his career, he led teams he coached to two runner-ups, 9 Final Tours, 8 Elite Eights, and 10 Sweet 16 appearances in the March Madness tournament. The coach also led the program to 3 conference tournament titles and 9 regular season championships. Williams has been emotional as last few games, declaring himself one of the luckiest people alive. And now over to Ross. You have another story for us.
Oh, I have quite a fun one for this funny day, of course. These Alaskan Costco shoppers cannot stop raving about ravens. The aviary fiends have been stealing up patrons' groceries in the Anchorage Costco parking lot. The feathery marauders have been watching shoppers as they leave the store and swoop down to take fruits and meats out of shopping carts and even their shopping bags. A former wildlife biologist from the State Department of Fish and Game said hundreds of ravens fly to Anchorage in the winter for food and leave once spring arrives. But before they do, the ravens tend to stick around to pluck up assorted meats, fruits, and vegetables. It's a very fun one there. I've always got to see those great birds around the corner. And a duplex in California has been listed as sold for $650,000. The duplex comes with 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a 1-car garage, carpeting, furniture, and several mannequin statues in each room. The listing agent representing the property says the property is centrally located and close to many casinos and ski resorts, shopping districts, and beaches. The property also has been listed 2 times in the past, once in 2008 and again in 2009. Both times the property has been listed for $4,999 and $500 even. Well, that's a very fun one there. Probably the one thing I don't like about that house would have to be the mannequins.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of mannequins myself. That'd be a little off-putting.
Definitely not. I mean, you could probably use them some fun jokes, especially with today being April Fool's.
Yes, very much. And it appears those ravens have been playing a real prank on shoppers
Oh,
up in Anchorage.
that would be awful. I would not like to just come home from the store and just like, where's all my food? And just realize that a bunch of wonderful birds took it.
Yeah, but that is also all the time we have for today. And on behalf of everyone here at Public Eye News, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.